As I interviewed women for Love Letters to Miscarriage Moms, I asked each mom what their doctor's visit was like following the miscarriage. And I was surprised to find myself in the minority. I had a good experience, as good as a doctor visit could be when you're learning that you're losing your child. Myself and my grandma were the only two people out of 24 women I interviewed that had an experience that left us with hope. For me, my doctor had experienced several miscarriages herself. And so she was able to speak to me not only as a medical professional, but also on a personal level. And that meant a lot to me. And my grandma, this was like 60 years after she'd miscarried, and she still remembered that her doctor was red-faced and out of breath when he got to her exam room, because when he heard that Anne had had a miscarriage, he ran to her exam room to meet with her. And that stuck out to her, the fact that he cared that much. But for other women, they had to go get a DNC with photos of babies on the wall. They would hear the congratulatory lullaby baby sound as women were giving birth to newborn babies. Photos of babies on the walls, and or even worse, a lack of empathy from hospital staff. Like, oh, I'll get to you in a minute, and my aunt had blood dripping down her leg, or just people saying very callous things. I was in the waiting room for a second miscarriage, and the nurse thought I was there for a pregnancy visit. She was very excited for me that I was pregnant. And so she said, "Congratulations," to me in the waiting room where there were other people around. If I had known any of them, my information was no longer private, and also it wasn't a congratulatory thing for me. She got it wrong. And I've heard stories from other women. One friend, the doctor said, "Oh, you miscarried." She didn't even know she was pregnant. So she found out she was pregnant and she miscarried in the same breath. And her doctor wasn't very gentle about it, or very understanding, acknowledging what she'd gone through. The stories broke my heart so much, so completely, that I actually wrote a fictional story about going to the doctor's office that I included in Love Letters to Miscarriage Moms. And I'm gonna read it to you right now, because if you had a bad experience at the doctor's office, a traumatic experience on top of already losing a baby, I want you to have this to walk away with. I like being able to face the camera, but reading makes that difficult. So just bear with me. You lie on a hospital bed, shivering in the flimsy, collarless hospital gown tied in the back, exposing your helplessness. Tears that flowed nonstop for days dampen your reddened cheeks. Fear, desperation, and longing consume you. 2 doctors enter the room, one male and one female. Sympathy softens their features. "Are you cold?" he asks. The female doctor reaches for your favorite hoodie on the chair beside the bed. "Would you like to wear this?" She adjusts the line from the IV and then threads your arms through the sleeves of your sweatshirt. Warmth, security. You inhale a deep breath. On the wall, behind the male doctor, you see a framed print of a tropical horizon at sunset. "Your baby is in heaven already," he says. "Now we need to protect you." The female doctor grasps your hands. You are not alone. A nurse enters and places a seal over your nose and mouth as the female doctor says, "You'll be asleep momentarily. This is the hardest thing you're ever going to have to do. When you wake up, there will be no more baby." Your eyes widen with panic. The female doctor continues, "You will feel alone, but you won't be alone. We'll be right here." "Already in heaven," the male doctor reminds you. "Your baby is safe and warm and happy. Your journey is longer, but you'll find your strength again." The last words you hear before you fade into the darkness of sleep are, "And you will see your child again one day." If you experienced a traumatic doctor's visit, please watch this video as many times as you need to adopt this story as your own. You can hit subscribe so that you hear more about encouraging content, helpful content. I wish you the very best. You are loved. You are not alone.